BINO Nation, what's good, what's good, what's good? Make sure you guys are hitting the like button as you come in. Make sure you hit the Cash App and support the show. Anybody that drops 100 or more will be a sponsor of the show.
That's that. BINO energy.
Yeah. Make sure y'all putting the shields in the chat. Put the shields in the chat. Put the shields in the chat. We got a lot to talk about. We got a whole lot to talk about. We got to talk about Barack Obama. That's right. We got to talk about your boy. Your boy done got caught up in some tomfoolery. In some foolishness. You feel me? Yo, if you in here, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. If you don't know how to get notified every time we go live, when you subscribe, make sure you click the bell. Make sure you enable all notifications. That way, whenever we go live, you will actually get notified. There's only a small percentage of y'all that have actually clicked the bell, you feel me, and made sure that you're able to be notified. So make sure y'all do that, you feel me. And for those of you that's coming in noticing that you don't have a wrench, that's because we did another wrench purge where we basically went through and took all of the wrenches. We took all of the wrenches. That way, you feel what I'm saying, we can redistribute the wrenches properly, all of that good stuff. So, if you're a long-term contributor, trust and believe you will get your wrench back. Or if you're a new contributor, contribute to the channel and you might get a wrench. You feel what I'm saying? But without further to do, let's start the show.
Where'd you find this?
That boy is good.
Tell him about the gun line, boss.
I don't feel like you standing on business, nigga. I've been doing this for a long time.
And most importantly, we need you.
That's that BINO energy. She belongs to the street.
Spartan! What
Yeah, we back in the stew. Y'all know what time it is.
You're now tuned in
You are now tuned into
to the realest show on YouTube with your host, the Angryman.
What's good? What's going on, everybody? We back in the building. Y'all already know what it is, man. Salute to everybody that's coming through. All of that good stuff. Y'all know how we do. Shout out to Leonard for the 25-month membership. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yo, make sure you guys are supporting the show. Make sure you're hitting the Cash App, all of that good stuff. Y'all already know how we do. We definitely need some sponsors of the show. We're going to get things kicked off. First, let's take a look at this news clip so we can see exactly what is going on, what's going on. You feel what I'm saying? So let's pull this up real quick and check it out.
Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard dropped a bombshell over the weekend in the form of 100 documents. She says that massive Russia hoax was essentially directed by former President Barack Obama. Now she's sending everything she has found to the U.S. Justice Department and is asking the department to prosecute. House Oversight Committee members are calling for accountability.
There needs to be criminal prosecution and arrest. You know, lying under oath, putting out a false intelligence report, that's a violation of 18 U.S. Code. If we don't stop this, if we don't actually say this will not be tolerated, this is not a Democrat or Republican thing. This is about the health and the sanctity of a constitutional republic, and so there needs to be arrests. This is not partisan. This is simply illegal what they did, and we're simply upholding the law.
Justice correspondent David Spunt is in Washington. David.
Hey, Harris. Tulsi Gabbard says the Obama team previously found no Russian interference in the 2016 election, and then suddenly before Donald Trump took office in early 2017, she says the Obama team changed its narrative. Critics say Gabbard is conflating two different things. Fox News Digital obtained a declassified copy of the presidential daily brief for then-President Obama dated December 8, 2016. It reads in part, "We assess that Russian and criminal actors did not impact recent U.S. election results by conducting malicious cyber activities against election infrastructure." Then, she says, shortly before Trump took office, the intelligence seemed to change and allegations about Russian interference to help Trump were rampant.
There's no question in my mind that this intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered be published, which contained a manufactured intelligence document. It's worse than even politicization of intelligence. It was manufactured intelligence.
Now, Democrats, Harris, say Obama's team.
Well, I guess we now know why they did not want Tulsi Gabbard to be in charge of intelligence. Yeah.
Was always concerned about Russia sowing discord online via Facebook and other social media channels to ruin Clinton and help Trump. In 2020, the chairman of the Intel Committee at the time, Marco Rubio, then Florida senator, now Trump's top diplomat, released an exhaustive report. He said in a statement the committee found absolutely no evidence that then candidate Donald Trump or his campaign colluded with the Russian government to meddle in the 2016 election. What the committee did find, however, is very troubling. We found irrefutable evidence of Russian meddling. Senator Jim Himes is a Democrat from Connecticut on the Intel Committee.
Tulsi Gabbard accusing a former president of treason. Let's see if they bring charges. They won't. They won't, because there's not a judge in the land, not a single judge, who will treat this with anything other than laughter that will be heard from the Atlantic to the Pacific in this country.
Now we got to pause right there. He said this guy right here on Face the Nation, this clown said, let's see if they bring charges. Because there isn't a judge in the land that isn't going to laugh this all the way from the Atlantic to the Pacific. So what you're telling me, basically, what you're telling the American public, basically, is the only way a president can be held accountable or attempted to be held accountable and prosecuted is if he's Donald Trump. Don't y'all find it interesting that when they're talking about bringing charges against the Obama administration, now all of a sudden the idea of prosecuting a president is ridiculous after everything we just saw? Out of everything that we just saw go on with Trump, now all of a sudden the idea of prosecuting anybody that is a political figure is ridiculous. Like, bro, it doesn't get any more. The bias, the corruption, the BS, it doesn't get any more blatant and in your face than this right here. This is crazy.
Now, Gabbard wants the DOJ and FBI to investigate. She said referrals are underway, and she wants charges, though it's unclear if and any charges will be filed at this time, but certainly something we're going to watch. Harris.
David, thank you very much. Texas Congressman Pat Fallon is on that House Oversight Committee, which is driving hard for whoever may have broken the law here to pay for it. He also sits on the Intelligence and Armed Services Committees. Great to see you today. Talk to me about just the top line in all of this. How is this different from what we knew under Trump's first term, for instance?
Well, what we found, Harris, is that the Intelligence Committee under Barack Obama was either epically incompetent or that was a coordinated effort to manipulate intelligence for political gain. That is sure. From what I can tell you is the preponderance of the evidence certainly suggests that. It's more probable than that happened. Now, as we investigate this further, and I personally have a lot more reading to do when I get back to Washington today, is can we get to a reasonable doubt threshold? Because what I've seen thus far is very troubling, and it truly, and I'm not being hyperbolic here, it could be Watergate-esque. Can you share any of it? Because I know a lot of it you can't share, but people are curious to know, gosh, everybody was digging for this to in part defend what the president was calling the Russia hoax, and he was right. So why now? Mm-hmm. Like, what can you give us just a tidbit of what you think we need to know? I think I want to also clear something up, because there's Russian attempted interference, and then there's collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia, which never happened, right? I mean, since Lenin, since 2022, when their Russian Civil War was over and it became the Soviet Union, they've been trying to, in some ways, meddle in American and Western democracies. Of course, they've been trying to influence things, and I'm sure they were a party to a lot of the terrorism we saw in the 70s in Europe, et cetera, et al. But to say, in which a lot of the intelligence community said, that President Trump and his campaign were colluding with Russia is a completely different topic, which there is zero evidence that ever happened. There's also zero hard evidence that Russia effectively altered the outcome of the 2016 election. Yeah, that's important to know, because you heard Democrats saying that at every turn. All right, I want to get to this. It's from investigative journalist Matt Taibbi. Let's watch.
The investigation is now aimed at the Obama White House, and in particular at Barack Obama, because of decisions that were made to suppress the presidential daily briefing and go ahead and order a new intelligence community assessment that ultimately would have much more aggressive conclusions about Trump and Russia.
Wow, this is really problematic because this maybe looks like it was going on far before Trump ever was in his first term as president. I mean, what would the goal have been by Obama if that's true? Obviously, before the November election, it was to, make sure that Hillary won. And then afterward, it was to discredit and start that really a tar and feathering campaign that we saw that never ended. I mean, other networks that didn't value the truth at all, but valued spin over the truth, wouldn't stop with it. And that's what's troubling. And this is an egregious and criminal violations of the Hatch Act as well, if what we are finding can hold up. Well, it's great to have you today. The story is breaking wide open. Please come back as we learn more. I look forward to that. Thank you.
Well, I don't even know where to begin. I guess we can start with the fact that for a lot of us that are on the right, for a lot of us that are conservatives, we already knew this. We already knew this. We already knew that there's a group that were recently in office that's just as crooked as a rattlesnake's back. We know this. Now, this brings up a lot of questions, right? So you look at the 2016 election, right? You look at Hillary Clinton, you look at the Democrats and how angry they were that they didn't win, right? We all know about the FISA warrants. We all know that they spied on Donald Trump's presidential campaign during the 2016 election, which, that they weren't supposed to do that. No one's been held accountable for that, right? So then you have the situation with Joe Biden and all of that foolishness. Nobody's been held accountable for that. Now, the sad part about all of this is that the left always creates a failsafe for just an occasion like this. Now, if you ever wondered why the left always use people of color to do certain things, the reason why they put, Barack Obama up there, the reason why they tried to put Kamala up there, the reason why they currently have Jasmine Crockett up there, it's so that when this type of thing happens, they can scream racism. Because you can bet your bottom dollar, anybody in here that can hear the sound of my voice, that is watching right now, I promise you and I guarantee you that if they come anywhere close to bringing any type of charges against Barack Obama, the black community is going to scream racism from the highest mountaintops. Mark my freaking word. And I know it's true because they're already doing it. There's already people on TikTok talking about they trying to target Obama. It's time for us to crash out. It's time for us, this is the reason why they do this. This is the reason why they're always screaming victimhood. This is the reason why they're always playing the race card. This is the reason, so that they can be untouchable. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. America and our government, our structure, right? Our civilization here in America, it cannot continue to move forward until this type of shit is nipped in the bud. Because we don't know how far back this goes. If you really want to be honest, we don't know how far back it goes. Because you got Barack Obama. After Barack Obama, it was supposed to be Hillary Clinton. So let's go back. You got Joe Biden, right? They were planning on Joe Biden being in for 8 freaking years, right? Now, we all know why he couldn't possibly be in for 8 years. He shouldn't have been in for the first 4, right? But then you go back before him, And it was supposed to be Hillary, right? Before that, it was Barack Obama. Before that, it was George Bush Jr. Before that, it was Bill Clinton. Like, are you starting to see a pattern? There seems to be, for most of my lifetime, it's the Bushes, the Clintons, and the Obamas, right? Because even though Joe is Joe Biden, really, that's just Obama. It's especially, because he came from that administration, right? And I'm pretty sure some of Obama's people was part of Joe Biden's administration. Now, this is really concerning, especially with everything that has came out recently about the freaking, what is it, the auto pen, whatever they call that crap. Like, certain things being signed, unbeknownst to Joe Biden or whatever. Bro, something got to be done about this foolishness. Something has to be done about this foolishness. Shout out to Bryson. He said the hypocrisy is insane. Shout out to Mr. Lone Star. He said the rhinos have spoken. Let's see who else we got. Shout out to Christopher. He said showing support. Shout out to Abdul. He said showing support and rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner. Definitely rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner. Shout out to IMP. He said salute the light skinned God AM. Big Wrench E Boogie. I need you to say something in the chat, bro. Shout out to Kevin. He said, only show I support these days. Cook. Shout out to my man Steve H. coming through to be the first sponsor of the show. Appreciate you, fam.
Going down. Stack up and match up.
Yo, shout out to Dark Power. Appreciate you. Shout out to Kendra, said paying tuition. Let's see. I think that might be it for the moment. But yeah, this is, bruh. And you want to know what's crazy about it? What's crazy about it is, as far as I can tell, the only people that's really covering this news is right-leaning outlets. Like, everybody else is trying to make it seem like this is light. This is not light. And, somebody in the chat said this is perfect timing. I completely agree. I completely agree. This is perfect timing because of the simple fact that after he made that statement he made on his wife's podcast about boys needing a certain type of role model, I'm like, yeah, lock him up. Prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law. You feel me? Prosecute him. Now, we all know that Barack Obama is not going to get locked up. I sincerely doubt he even gets prosecuted. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to QD Exec. He said, I got my wrench back. I am Prince of all sayings once again. I'm about to light my cigar and sit in the smoke section. Cook, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, so I sincerely doubt if Barack Obama actually gets prosecuted. Shout out to Jerome. He said, bring the truth, bro. I sincerely doubt if he gets prosecuted because that that would be too much like common sense. That would be too much like, because look, at this point, anybody can see the writing on the wall. Anybody can see the writing on the wall. You feel me? Sports Bodywork said Obama did nothing for the black community, so why should people believe he would do anything but try to destroy this democratic republic? Well, the only problem with your assessment, and don't get it wrong, I agree with you, but the only problem with your assessment is there is a country filled to the brim with black people. Well, maybe not filled to the brim, but there's a country full of black people that are going to flat out lose their shit the moment that they even, I'm pretty sure they're on TikTok right now losing their minds. I haven't went over to check it out. I'm pretty sure they are losing their minds right now. Because you know Barack Obama, that's like Jesus' cousin. Like, it don't matter what he said recently. It don't matter what he said recently. You all know as well as I do that when it comes to the Negro, all you got to do is bring up racism. All you got to do is play the race card, and they'll forget everything else. They will forget everything else, and they will go hard in the paint just for the purposes of, okay, you know what? Y'all just want to, that's our first black president, and y'all want to prosecute him. This is a shame. This is a travesty. This is, they're going to lose their minds. They are going to lose their minds. You mark my word. It's coming. It's coming. Trust and believe. Matter of fact, let's see how many people are reacting to this right now. Let's see. Everybody's talking about it. Trump posted the funniest thing in the world. Trump posted a AI generated video of Obama getting arrested. That shit was funny. When I saw that, joint, bro, I was laughing my ass off. You feel me? In fact, hold on. Let's see if it'll play.
President Trump shared an AI-generated video on Truth Social Sunday depicting the arrest and imprisonment of former President Barack Obama. The video opens with a montage of Obama and other Democrats that no one is above the law.
No one, especially the president, is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one.
After that, the song YMCA kicks in as a fake video shows Obama getting arrested by FBI agents with Trump smiling beside him. He's then depicted in an orange jumpsuit sitting in a jail cell. The post comes days after Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard announced plans to refer former Obama administration officials to the Justice Department for prosecution, accusing them of fabricating intelligence about Russian interference in the 2016 election. She reiterated those accusations on Fox News this weekend.
Maria, the implications of this are frankly nothing short of historic. Over 100 documents that we released on Friday really detail and provide evidence of how this treasonous conspiracy was directed by President Obama just weeks before he was due to leave office, after President Trump had already gotten elected.
Democrats dismissed the allegations as baseless. Senator Mark Warner, a member of the Senate Intelligence Committee, called it one more example of the National Intelligence Director trying to cook the books. Some Trump supporters embraced the AI video, including conservative journalist Nick Sorter, who wrote on X, "Make this a reality," and tagging Attorney General Pam Bondi in the post. Others.
Now, This is what's funny about this, right? And I gotta point it out. I gotta point it out, right? Notice how Trump posts this AI video and everybody's losing their minds. When they were trying to prosecute Donald Trump, how many photos did you see on the internet of Donald Trump in an orange jumpsuit? How many photos on the internet did you see of Donald Trump behind bars? Not to mention that even before they tried to prosecute Donald Trump, there are states and cities where they have sculptures of Donald Trump naked with tiny genitalia. Like, the fact that they're sitting around acting like they're so offended that Obama is being mocked. Bruh, one thing I can say for certain about Donald Trump, him being president has shown me that we do not live in a society of adults. We don't. You know how when you're a kid and you think that children behave a certain way, but you think adults are above childish behavior, like they're authority figures and they know what's right and they know what's wrong and they're gonna do the right thing. Like, you grow up with that mentality thinking that adults are adults. And you know what you realize when you look at situations like these and the way all of these well-to-do, college-educated, professional people are acting, it lets you know that nobody is an adult in the sense that we think. They're just a bunch of children who have gotten older. Like, this is some grade school shit. This is some grade school shit where there's one kid it's okay to pick on. It's cool to pick on that kid because nobody likes that kid. So it's like, yeah, we can pick on him and we can justify why we're picking on him. But then when it's the kid that everybody likes, now we're outraged. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you're picking on him. Like, this is some childish shit. If you can make fun of Donald Trump, if you can depict him in orange jumpsuits and behind bars, you could do the same shit for Barack Obama. If you can drag Donald Trump in the court every chance you get with every ridiculous charge that you can come up with, you should be able to do the same thing for Barack Obama. Why is he untouchable? Why is he untouchable? I mean, you literally drug Trump in court for something that I don't even think is a crime. But there's a possibility that the whole Russia thing was faked. And you got these jackholes standing up here on media platforms acting like, oh, well, there's nothing we can say about it. There's nothing we can do about it. We just, it is what it is. Shout out to Mr. Lone Star. Said, is America truly ready for revealing of the deep state, or will they deny the corruption with the evidence? Well, here's the reality. Here's the reality. Here's the reality, right? The reality. Hold on. Okay, I don't know who that is. But anyway, going back to what I was saying. Shout out to Lotus Flower. Appreciate you. here's the reality, and this is the frightening thing about it, right? This is the closest we've ever gotten. In fact, this is the closest that we'll ever get to actually seeing someone of that level of power be held accountable. And this is the sad, unfortunate part. It's just like when Jack Dorsey was in charge of Twitter, and Twitter was obviously being biased against the right and just basically, in favor of the left, right? And every right-leaning conservative, every conservative that was a content creator or that was online, like, I don't know if y'all remember, but around the time, right around the time that Joe Biden first got elected, bro, like, people was dropping off of social media like flies, bro. You couldn't say nothing. We were literally watching as our freedom of speech was being stripped from us, right? Like, real talk. They were like, bro, they were really going hard in the paint. You look at the fact that they were trying their best to take away our freedom of speech. They were trying to take away our bodily autonomy during the pandemic. Like, they were really overreaching. Like, it was getting to the point where I was sitting back looking at everything and I was like, wow, they're really trying to create a totalitarian thing. Like, they're really pushing the limits, right? And when I sat back and I looked at how they kicked Donald Trump off of Twitter, literally kicked him off of Twitter, right? They was kicking people off of platforms left and right. They was silencing people. Bro, they was silencing doctors. Doctors that were giving their medical opinions about certain things. They were censoring them, bro. They were doing everything that, like, it was starting to really look like a different country, right? When Elon Musk was about to buy Twitter, I remember telling my wife, I said, if they stop Elon Musk from buying Twitter, the richest man in the world, that will be confirmation for us that good cannot win in this world. If they would have stopped Elon from buying Twitter, if I would have sat back and watched because his whole purpose of buying it was to give Twitter back freedom of speech, right? And I said to myself, I was like, yo, if they're able to stop the richest man in the world from buying Twitter, that's going to let me know everything I need to know. That's going to let me know that the corruption is too deep. It can't be stopped. It just is what it is, right? So when he was able to buy it and I saw the change in Twitter, it gave me some hope. It gave me some hope for a brighter future, right? And I'm not saying that Elon Musk is perfect, but if you look at Twitter, Twitter is a hell of a lot better than it was under Jack Dorsey as far as freedom of speech, right? Then when Kamala Harris lost the election, it gave me a little more hope. I said, holy shit. We might actually be able to turn this shit around. We might be able to fix this shit. When I start looking and I'm noticing certain voices getting fired, certain people, their rhetoric just being too much. When I see the Joy Reids and the other countless, like, there's been a lot. Stephen Colbert is just one of the recent ones in late night talk shows, but you had a lot of news anchors that they're gone. They're up out of here. You feel what I'm saying? I can't even remember all of their names, right? But when I saw the left-leaning media, the bias, narrative pushing, propaganda pushing, left-leaning media starting to lose notable names, shows starting to be canceled, it gave me a little more hope. Well, we are at another precipice. We are at another moment like that, right? If these documents are real and no one gets prosecuted, no one gets charged with anything, and no one goes to prison, nobody in this country should ever say anything about corruption ever again. Because when it comes to the Democrats and their corruption, right? This is the closest we're ever going to get. I need y'all to understand this. If there is a chance, if there's a snowball's chance in hell of saving this constitutional republic, this is the closest we're going to get to it under Donald Trump. He's the only president that has the testicular fortitude to make the changes that need to be made. Now, what would be a beautiful thing is after Donald Trump, if we were to get J.D. Vance. That would be wonderful, especially if J.D. Vance carries on the legacy of Donald Trump. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when I sit back and think about it, you think about Barack Obama being in office for 8 years. After him, they were planning on Hillary being in there for 8 years, right? I don't know who they were going to put up there after that, because Joe Biden was never supposed to be a presidential candidate. Kamala Harris definitely wasn't supposed to be a presidential candidate. But when you really think about it, when I think about it, it scares the hell out of me to think what they had in store for us. If their plans had not been interrupted by Donald Trump in 2016 and then again this past year. Like, if you really sit back and you look at all of their agendas, you look at what Kamala had going on, you look at what Joe Biden did, like, let's just think about the damage that Joe Biden did in his presidency. And some of the stuff that he did, y'all probably sitting back like, you probably don't even know why he did it. I'll tell you why he did it. The whole purpose of him, he wasn't doing certain things because he was incompetent. I know everybody wants to think that. He wasn't doing certain things because he was incompetent. He was purposely trying to undo all of the progress that Donald Trump had done in his first term. Because let's be real, based on whatever their plans were, Donald Trump wasn't supposed to be president in 2016, and that kind of sidelined whatever plans they had. And this is the reason why, because I want you to think about it like this. With Obama's 8 years, they were slowly spoon-feeding us bullshit. And the reason why they were slowly doing it is because it's like that frog sitting in the pot of water that you're slowly turning the heat up on, right? They were turning the heat up and letting us adapt to the temperature so that by the time the water's boiling, we wouldn't be able to jump out. The only problem is, right as they were, for the first 4 years, Obama turned the temperature up. For the next 4 years, he kept turning the temperature up, pushing all of these agendas. Hillary was supposed to continue turning that temperature up. The problem was Donald Trump got elected. He reached in there and grabbed the frogs out of the damn pot. And so when Joe Biden got in office, that's like putting the frogs back in the pot. The only problem is they didn't want to start from zero. So what they did is they tried to turn the temperature up too damn fast. And because they turned it up too damn fast, we felt it. We felt it. So all of the bullshit agendas that they would have slowly programmed us with coming out of the Obama administration into an 8 years of Hillary Clinton, they would have slowly socialized and trained us to accept all of that shit. But because Donald Trump interrupted that shit, when Joe Biden got in there, he had to try to make up for lost time, and that was a huge mistake on their part. That was a huge blunder on their part. What they should have did is they should have said, okay, well, you know what? Donald Trump interrupted it. We still got to start from zero. Because if we try to push the agenda too fast, it ain't going to work. They should have been smart enough to know that. Thank you very much, ma'am. They should have been smart enough to know that. But they wasn't smart enough to know that. So they turned all the way up. We felt it. And we pushed back. And so now, the shit we felt in them 4 years of Joe Biden was so horrible that shit has done irreparable damage. That shit has done irreparable damage to the Democrat Party. Yes, sir, buddy. Yes, sir, buddy. I've been waiting on that right there. I've been waiting on that right there. Shout out to Jay the Transporter. Said thank you. Well, excuse me. He didn't say anything. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Sports Body Works. Said they seriously had the wool pulled over the eyes. The WEF lost big. They can't fool a Vulcan. Facts. Shout out to Brandon. He said, great show, fam. Love your perspective. BINO, appreciate it. So now, their agenda got interrupted. And that was the whole reason why they was pushing their agenda as hard as they were pushing it, which was a huge mistake. Absolute blunder. Absolute huge mistake. Because I'm going to tell you right now, and we'll know going into the midterms. We'll know whatever the results of the midterms, that's gonna let us know just how bad the damage is. Usually what happens in a situation like this, a lot of times you'll have presidents, they'll come in, whether it's Democrat or Republican, and they'll get the House and the Senate when they first come in. But usually what happens is in the midterms, they'll lose either or the House or the Senate, or they'll lose both. So going into the midterms, if we keep the House and the Senate and get a larger majority, that's just going to let me know it is over for the Democrats. It is over. It's going to take them a while to recover. And the problem is they started drinking their own Kool-Aid. The problem with people that are liars, that push narratives, is sometimes they do it so long that they start to believe their own narrative. They start to believe their own lies, right? So when you look at the narrative that they push, they try to make it seem like this is what they do. If you've ever wondered why, when it comes to movies, television shows, and just Hollywood in general, right? And the music industry, all entertainment. If you're wondering why they go out of their way to promote the left in all of those media outlets so much, is because if you, the regular citizen, the regular American, if you're watching TV, listening to music, watching movies or whatever, right? If every person you see on the screen is a leftist, is a liberal, is a progressive, it gives you the illusion that there are more of them than you, right? So if you watch a TV show and every TV show has a person from the Rainbow Committee, right? You'll start thinking, wow, their population has really grown. And the truth of the matter is they're like 1% of the population, right? If you look at movies and television shows, you will think that the majority of the country is liberal and leftist and progressive. And the reason why is because you have been trained and socialized to believe that what is on TV is a representation of the public. What is on TV is, you know, it's art imitating life. So if every television show, every social group has a bunch of people from the LGBT community, that's going to make you think that out here in the real world, every social group has someone from the LGBT community or a few people. If you watch TV and everybody's a liberal and everybody's a progressive on every TV show that you watch, it makes you feel like you're the minority. However, the problem is the Democrats and the people on the left, they're subject to the same programming that we're subject to. If you look at a person in New York that is a politician or, you know, someone of any notoriety, right? It's the same thing with the people in Hollywood. If you have a conversation with them, they think the majority of the country is like them. And it's not. This is the reason why the Democrats' strategies don't work. This is the reason why Kamala Harris got up there campaigning, pushing a far left agenda, not even trying to be moderate, not even trying to meet the people where they were, because she doesn't believe that the majority of the country doesn't agree with her. This is why she didn't change anything up. This is why they're shocked at the amount of support that Donald Trump got. If you go look at these videos on YouTube where they show some of these people, a lot of these celebrities, a lot of these lefties, if you go look and you look at their reactions, they are completely dumbfounded. They are completely shocked that Donald Trump got this much support. And the reason why is because the Democrats and the lefties and the progressives, they are out of touch with reality. They have been pushing those bullshit ass lies and those agendas for so long that they themselves believe that shit. That's why Obama could sit up there on Michelle Obama's podcast and say that foolish shit because he thinks the majority of the country is going to accept it. And he doesn't even realize the majority of the country thinks he's an ass. The majority of the country looks at him like he's crazy. The majority of the country does not like Kamala Harris. The majority of the country doesn't like the Democrats. But they think that if they continue to push, look, it's no different than the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef, right? Kendrick is like the Democrats and the lefties. He's being pushed in your face to make you think he's more popular than he actually is. But if you're out here in the real world, you know ain't nobody really listening to Kendrick like that. Just like if you're out here in the real world, you know everybody don't really rock with the Democrats like that. They don't. But the Democrats believe and they think that they can just keep pushing the agenda, pushing the narrative. Look, most of the public is sick of progressivism. They're sick of intersectionalism. They're sick of left-leaning liberals. They're sick of all of this shit. They are sick of all of it. They're sick of all of it. And the Democrats, they just don't want to believe that. They just don't want to believe it. So it's going to get to the point where something is going to have to be done. Because it's only a small group of them that are pushing these agendas, and the country cannot handle this shit. If we're being totally honest, the way they're in the media fear mongering and just, you know, trying to create hysteria simply because they hate the fact that Donald Trump is in office and he's doing things that goes against what they want. Like, they don't realize you can only push people so far before they snap. This is the reason why you see people sitting in their car losing their shit after Donald Trump got elected. It's not that they are that invested in it. They were told to be invested in it. Them same people, if the media wasn't pushing the Donald Trump hate train the way they're pushing it, a lot of those people that's sitting in their cars snapping the fuck out, they wouldn't even give a shit about who's president. Because until Donald Trump came along, most Americans didn't give a shit who the president was. They just did. Most Americans didn't give a shit. And to the black community, you can say what you want to say, but I already know the truth. Why do you think they had to come up with all kinds of movements and slogans to get black people to vote in the 90s and the 2000s? Because black folks wasn't voting. Black folks wasn't voting. Because nobody really cared who the president was. Nobody really cared. And why didn't they care? Because Americans, for the most part, have very low political IQs. They don't concern themselves with politics. They're too busy enjoying being American. They're too busy living their lives. It wasn't until Trump came along and the media decided, you know what? We have to get the court of public opinion against this guy. And what they did is they went on this never-ending campaign of Trump ain't shit, Trump is a horrible person, Trump is the devil himself, all of this goofy shit. And that is also an agenda they pushed too damn hard. They pushed that so damn hard that they ended up making some people that didn't like Trump step back and say, wait a minute. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. Anybody with common sense knows this. If you knew that the government was always on some bullshit and was always doing something wrong before Trump came into office, you got to ask yourself, why is everybody against him? No, they have never been against anybody the way they've been against him. If that doesn't make you question shit, I don't know what to tell you. That's a red flag for me. All of you can't stand him. All of you are bent and determined on stopping him. All of you are going to great lengths, so much so that you're making yourself look like fools. This is how bad you want to stop this dude from what he's doing. It's making me say, well, wait a minute. Let's see what he gonna do. Now I'm interested. Now I'm invested. I want to see what he's going to do that makes you individuals so crazy. Now here's the funny thing. Y'all was going so hard in the paint during his first administration. He's horrible. He's going to be a dictator. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. He didn't do none of that shit. So now I'm really questioning. Because I'm going to tell you what it's starting to look like. What it's starting to look like is a bunch of you that are in positions of power. You don't like the way the country is. You don't like the fact that the country is still a free country. You don't like the fact that your control over the general public is limited because of the Constitution. Like, I'm really starting to feel like y'all want to create some sort of communist regime or something crazy like that. And Trump is the only person that's like, nah, we not doing that. This America, Jack. We gonna continue doing shit the way we've been doing shit. That's what it seems like to me. Shout out to Pennsylvania, said the frog jumped out of the pot and hopped straight in their face. Shout out to Goat Brothers, says supporting the show. Thank you for the prolific output. Appreciate you. Shout out to Hemi B, said, love that you speaking up for the blue collar black man. Them sisters ain't complaining about Pookie at all.
$50 boss up. Stack up and match up.
They ain't complaining about Pookie at all. Not at all. You feel me? Not at all. And I'm going to tell you the truth. At this point, you can't convince me that Trump is bad. Not at this point. Because I honestly feel like, as corrupt as a lot of those Washington fat cats are, I feel like if Donald Trump was really corrupt and evil, they would love his draws. They would love him. They would love him. Now, if I'm sitting back and I'm looking at all these corrupt individuals, all of these individuals that are questionable, that have done a lot of goofy shit, and they don't like Donald Trump, well, to me, logically, that means that Trump is the opposite of what they are. That's the only thing I can see that would be logical. They don't mix like oil and water, right? Because they're not compatible. Why are they not compatible? Because they're not birds of a feather. See, the fact that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton seem to not really like each other, and then all of a sudden it looks like they in cahoots with each other, it's like, really? Okay. Now I'm starting to see. Now I'm starting to see what this is. Now it's starting to make sense. But anyway, we are an hour in and we've only got 21 contributors. So I think we're going to wrap this up early. Because normally by this point in the show, we'd have over 30 contributors. And I don't know what's been going on lately, but cats just come to my show and watch for free. Because I'll be sitting back watching other people's shows, and I'll be like, damn, like they super chats be popping so much, it'd be like, damn, they ain't even got time to read the super chats. But for some reason, folks come over to my show and they be like, yo, you got dope content, but they don't contribute. The people that contribute to my show are always the same group of people every day. The same group of people. The same handful of faithful few that contribute. I don't know why, but for some odd reason, y'all come to my show and you don't want to contribute, but you go to every other show that is a big show and you contribute. And I say, you know what? You know what it is? What it is I'm giving y'all too much content. That's what it is. I'm giving y'all too much content. You don't appreciate it. So we're going to cut this short. Shout out to the people that did contribute. I appreciate every last one of you guys. Shout out to my man Steve for being a sponsor of the show. Shout out to everybody on the Cash App side that supported the show. You feel me? Shout out to my man Jerome. Appreciate you. I would love to keep it going, Jerome, but you know, Cats is playing in my face, and I'm not gonna keep playing the game. Like, I'm not gonna keep playing this damn game. I shouldn't have to, when I go live, I shouldn't have to constantly say support the show, support the show, support the show, support the show. There's content creators that go live, they never say support the show. And niggas just be super chat, super chat, super chat, super chat. Like, am I lying? BINO Nation. Like, I'm not going to say no names. I'm not going to put nobody on blast because I'm not trying to hate on anybody. I'm just merely pointing out that other shows, cats don't got to say that. They don't got to say none of that. In a lot of these other shows, they're smaller than my show. But you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tim Dog. He said for the cook session AM. Appreciate you.
$50 boss up. Stack up and match up.
Lotus Flower said, I see it too. Yeah. Yeah. It's like niggas have just decided, you know what? We gonna shit on AM. We gonna go watch his show for free, but we gonna go to everybody else's show and support. Shout out to Ron. Appreciate you. Shout out to the Lionel God. Appreciate you. He says, Salam. AR, the Dems / leftist liberals have players in ends faces with a new Willie Lynch, do I convince they're greater than the men, create a subdued, lazy via government assistance? Appreciate you, man. You Ken said, AM, you're the only person on YouTube I support it. And I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. But see, I'm not talking about you guys that do support. You feel me? Shout out to A. I'm not talking to you guys I'm not talking about you guys that do support. There is a small look. It's just like the reason why everybody doesn't get notified when I go live. Okay? Only between 2 to 4% of the people that subscribe to me have the notifications turned on. Like, I can go in my analytics and look at it. Only 2 to 4%. So if anybody ever comes over here and they're like, damn, Angryman, why is it when you go live, you don't have 2,000-3,000 people watching? Because they don't get notifications when I go live, because they're subscribing, but they're not clicking the bell. You feel me? So only 2 to 4% of y'all have the bell clicked. Now, of those of you that come to my show, there's only a small percent that actually support the show. There's only a small percent. And the crazy thing about it is even that cycles out. Like, it'll be one group that support, and they'll do that for like 6 months. And then the next 6 months, it'll be a different group. And the group that supported before, they just vanish. I don't know where the fuck they be at. Matter of fact, no, I'm wrong. I do know where they be at. I do know where they be at. Because y'all got exposed. Some of y'all niggas got exposed. Because there's some Negroes that used to support, and you know what they do? They come over here and they watch from the clouds, but they don't say nothing in the chat because they don't want to feel obligated to support. You feel me? How do I know this? Because every once in a while, somebody will gift a bunch of memberships. So every once in a while, somebody will gift 20 memberships. Because y'all remember when I said that there were certain people that used to watch my show, and I'm like, I never see them in the chat no more. They be here. They be watching. They be watching from the damn clouds. They don't say anything in the chat because they don't want me to know that they watching. But the problem is when somebody gifts a bunch of subscriptions, it shows their names. So the last time it gifted a bunch of subscriptions, I'm looking at the names like, oh, y'all do be in here. Y'all do be in here. You do be watching. But you don't say anything in the chat because you probably feel like if I say something in the chat, he gonna wonder why I'm not supporting. See, this is the shit that, this is what you, look, let me tell y'all something. To all of you up and coming content creators, right? I'm gonna say this, and a whole lot of people gonna get offended when I say this, but I gotta say it, right? If you're a content creator, do not focus your audience. Do not try to build a predominantly black audience. Don't. Don't. Do not build a predominantly black audience. When you do your content, try your best to have as diverse an audience as you possibly can. Okay? Because niggas like to play games. Niggas like to play games. Now, it's one particular thing that niggas have been doing lately, and I peeped it. And I'm not going to say anything. The reason why I'm not going to say anything is because folks is grown. You can go where you want. You can do what you want. It is what it is, right? I'm not going to trip about it. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not going to trip about it. Like, for some reason, I don't have the type of audiences like, say, Tommy or some of these other content creators that have diehard audiences where they keep building the audiences up and they just keep building up, right? So, like, they might have a diehard group of, you know, they go live, they got 500 people watching. There might be a diehard group of 50 people that support, that talk in the chat, engage, and all of that shit, right? Because that's the other thing people don't realize. One of the ways that your videos get recommended is based on engagement, right? So engagement is when y'all are in the chat room chatting with each other, talking, right? Or I'm talking to you guys and you're responding to me in the chat, or you're clicking on the poll, the voting poll or whatever, right? Or hitting the like button. That's engagement. And the more engagement that you have, which is part of the reason why I talk to you guys. I don't ignore you guys, right? Because I want my engagement to be up so my videos will get recommended, right? But here's the problem, right? The people that are like, I don't want to be in the chat room and feel like I'm obligated to support. Now, the funniest thing about this is every time I go live, I ask people to support. But I've never, ever looked in the chat room and saw somebody that usually supports and called them out by name and said, yo, you usually support, why you ain't support? I've never done that. I've never done that. There are people that'll hit me up and they'll be like, hey, Angryman, I ain't got much, but I'm a support. Bro, if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. I'm not tripping about that. But if you come to my show and you don't want to talk in the chat, you just want to sit in the clouds and not say anything because you feel like you're going to be obligated to support, you're dead weight. Them numbers don't mean shit if you're not engaging, if you're not talking. So, like, the crazy thing about it that cats don't even realize is even if you can't support the channel financially, the least you could do is hit the like button. The least you could do is chat in the chat room. The least you could do is drop the shields in the chat when I ask you to do it. That shit is free. That shit is free. But for some reason, like, bro, like, and it's not for some reason. I know the reason. I know the reason. I know the reason. It's because it's niggas. I know the reason. Shout out to Big Cheeseroni. He said if DJT was a fictional character in a major motion picture, he would be beloved by the masses. That's a fact. That's a fact. Shout out to Will. What's going on, Will? Hey, bro, congratulations on your channel growth. You feel me? I see you doing your thing. You You right around the corner from 10K. Will said, listen to your show while at PT. Here's for the wisdom and the gems. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Lord of Strangberg. Said, I think bro was turned out by his college. Barack was turned out by his college teacher. That's why he pushed the rainbow and damaging black traditional family. That is certainly possible. Shout out to Hemi B for being a sponsor. Hemi B said, 100 ain't nothing, my boy. Keep this live alive. Appreciate you, bro.
Here we go again. $100 boss up. Going down. Stack up and match up.
Shout out to Empress Epiphany Ecognito. So your content is really fire. No one will speak like this in the community. Thank you for being honest about what is going on today. These are lead times. Keep shining your light. Appreciate you. Appreciate that. Shout out to Mr. Lone Star, said that's because they steal content as well. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Niggas be sitting in here watching from the clouds so they can bite niggas' style and shit. Shout out to Tim Dog. He said, my bad, AM. I meant to send 100 instead of 50, so I'll just double up. Appreciate you, bro.
$50 boss up. Stack up and match up.
And for the record, Tim Dog, you ain't never got to say my bad for sending 50, bro. You ain't never got to say my bad for that. Shout out to Billy Nico, said supporting the show. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Girls and Bacon 79, said, I found this show and subscriber for life. Appreciate that. Make sure you click that bell to be notified. Please. Please. That's the one thing I gotta get that up. I gotta get that up, man. I gotta get the notifications up. I gotta get the notifications up. In fact, let me look and see. Let me look and see if the notifications have gotten up. Let's see. Subscribed. Where the hell do you find that shit at? Subscription status. I don't even know where to find that shit at. I'm gonna have to look it up after the show. Cause I looked at it before. It's crazy because you go to YouTube and you look up certain stuff and you be like, oh shit. You know, you're like, oh, that's how you look that up. And then when you go back to try to find it again, you're like, where the hell? Like, where the hell is the shit at? Shout out to Eye of Ra Gaming. Appreciate you.
$50 boss up. Stack up and match up.
Yeah, we're going to have to look that up. We're going to have to look that up later. But, yeah, so it is bruh, it's certain stuff that I've noticed. Like, bruh, it's people, and that's for those of you that had a forever wrench, right? For those of you that had a moderator wrench, right? If you watch the show on a regular basis and you're in here on a regular basis, I didn't take your wrenches to punish you. I took the wrenches because there's some Negroes that got wrenches and they don't even be here. They don't even be here. They don't come to the show. They don't participate in the chat. They don't do none of that. And I'm sitting back looking at it like, yo, what is the point of accumulating subscribers? What is the point of accumulating subscribers, accumulating followers, accumulating supporters if they're not going to show up? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. And here's the crazy thing, right? The crazy thing is someone will have a wrench. Somebody will have a wrench, right? And I'll do a purge. You feel me? I'll do a purge. And after I do the purge, we'll be over here rocking out. I done gave out wrenches to new people and shit. It'll be a week. And then somebody will come in and they'll be like, where's my wrench? And I'll be wanting to say so bad, if you had your ass in here watching the damn show, you know where your wrench is at. You know. Now, if you come in here today and you're like, where's my wrench? And you had a wrench yesterday, I ain't tripping about that. But if you've been gone a month, if you've been gone a week, 2 weeks, and you come in here talking about where my wrench, bruh. You can't be serious. Shout out to Lawrence for being a sponsor of the show. Let's get you on the board, Lawrence. Lawrence said, your content been awesome since day one, since I heard you speak on Retro Marvel DC comic book conversations. You have a delivery as if it were 48 Laws of Power, your knowledge of how mainstream corrupts politics, etc. Continue the message and stay the course. Appreciate you, broski. Appreciate that. Real talk.
Here we go again. $100 boss up. Going down. Stack up and match up.
Yo, shout out to Ron for gifting the membership. Now, wait a minute. He must be on the other joint. He's on the other joint. Must be on the other joint. Shout out to Cool Eric. He said, I'm here for good content, not wrenches. Hey, man, I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, but I'm about to, I'm gonna tell you some real shit, what I'm about to end up doing. And niggas ain't gonna like me when I do it. Niggas ain't gonna like me when I do it. A while back, me and another content creator that was cool, we had a falling out, right? And so when we had that falling out, I tried to be an adult about the situation. And I said, I'm not making nobody choose. Like if just because me and this person has an issue, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, right? Y'all can still rock with me and rock with them. But the other person didn't do that. The other person made niggas choose. Now, in my mind, I would think that people would stop rocking with the person that make them choose and rock with the person that don't make them choose, right? Because in my mind, I'm not thinking like a nigga. I'm thinking like a freaking normal, balanced, well-rounded person, right? But guess what? Guess what? Guess what? That's another one of those things that's counterintuitive. Because you know what happens? And this is a lesson. This is a lesson for everybody in here. I need y'all to hear this, right? This is another one of those counterintuitive things, right? Shout out to Floyd for being a sponsor. Appreciate you. This is another one of those counterintuitive things. And this is something that I had to learn. When you're growing up, if you're raised properly, right?
Here we go again. $100 boss up. Going down. Stack up and match up.
And you try to do, you're raised properly. You try to do things by, you got to do things by the righteous way, right? And you try to live by that. You try to be righteous. You know what I'm saying? Because the way I look at it, it's like everybody watching me is grown. You can watch me or you can watch whoever you want to watch, right? But this is what I'm realizing. What I'm realizing is that even though I know that's the right thing to do, the problem with human nature is you don't value the person that says to you, I don't mind, I'm not tripping if you watch me or you watch my ops, or you rock with me or you rock with my ops, right? Or you rock with me or you rock with this other individual. They don't value that person. This is the sad commentary on life. They value the person that makes them choose. Now, why human beings operate like that, I have absolutely no idea. But when I really think about it, I'm like, wait a minute, that actually makes sense. Because when you're out here in the real world, who gets treated with appreciation? The individual that ain't shit. The person that's about something is the one that doesn't get appreciated. That's the way our world functions. That's the way our world functions. I guarantee you, you know somebody in your life that is a selfish prick that doesn't care about nobody but themselves. And every time that person's birthday comes around, everybody and their mama is trying to do something for them. And then there's another person you know that's got a good heart, that's a kind person, that'll give you the shirt off their back. People always fucking that person over. You feel me? Like that shit is nasty work, bro. That shit is nasty work. Shout out to Jerome. He said, yo, AM, the other day, I was waiting all day for you to start a live. Come to find out, you started one in the middle of the night. I was hurt, bro. Yeah, man, I'm trying to fix my schedule, bro. I'm trying to fix my schedule. My schedule has been off for the past couple of weeks. I've been trying my best. I've been trying my best to get it right. For some reason, I've been up all freaking night. And then I'll get sleepy in like the afternoon and I'll try to take a nap. Like for some reason, I'll try to take like a hour nap or whatever, right? And I'll end up sleeping mad long. And then I end up doing a show on the late night. So my bad. I'm trying to get back to doing the show around this hour, around 5, 6, and not on the late night. So, you got to bear with me, bro. My schedule has been kicking my ass. Like, for real. My schedule has been messing me up, bro. Like, real shit. But yeah, like, I don't know. It's really weird. It's really weird to me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, the way people move and operate is really strange to me. But, to tie it into what we're talking about is just like the political game. It's just like the political game. It's just like with you look at somebody like Trump, right? Shout out to Tim Dog. He said, AM, your lives got me through a lot. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you, fam. It's the shout out to Will. Will said, I be legit mad when I don't catch a AM live, then I gotta watch a replay. Word. Yeah. I be like that too whenever I try to catch a live and I just gotta watch the replay. Especially if it's a replay of a panel show and somebody be saying something crazy and I want to jump up there and I look at it and it's a replay. I'm like, damn. Shout out to Snapcrafts at AM. You carry no shame, much like Trump, for someone to continuously state what they are passionate about and not waver. Deep. Appreciate you. But I tell you what, don't think for 1 second that it doesn't come at a price. This shit comes at a price. This shit comes at a price, bro. You look at Trump, he pays that price. Because like I said, it's just like in the political field. Like in the political world, if you really look at it, mad people like Obama and mad people don't like Trump. Guess who's the piece of shit between them two? Like, guess who's really the piece of shit between them two? I don't know. I don't know why mankind is like that. Mankind, for some reason, only respects the asshole. And they always disrespect the good person. That's what they always do. And look, I'm not trying to say that I'm the good person. I'm not trying to say that I'm perfect, anything like that. But I do feel like I try to operate with a level of integrity. You feel what I'm saying? I try to operate with a level of integrity. So certain things that I witness or that I see, I be like, what? Why is that going on? Like, what the fuck is that about? You feel me? Like, what is that about? I be like, what is that shit? And I'm gonna tell you the truth. There be people that been rocking with me since back in the day. Niggas be quitting my ass, yo. Niggas be quitting my ass, bruh. Like, I'm not even joking. Niggas be quitting me, bro. Niggas be quitting me. They be like, man, fuck Angryman, I'm out. and look, I know what it is. It's because look, one of the things that I love to do is I love to study human nature. But the problem is most people don't care about human nature. They don't really study it the way I study it, right? Like, people will notice the way people operate and the way they move or whatever, but they don't break it down to the molecule. Like, the reason niggas be quitting me is because I'm an asshole. But I'm not the right type of asshole. You understand? Like, I'm an asshole in the sense that what I think is what I think and what I believe is what I believe. But I still show a level of concern for people. Even though I'm an asshole, even though I'm a jerk, I still show a level of concern for people, right? And it's that compassion that make people, you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of like, Because this is what I notice. There are other people that are assholes, just like I'm an asshole. But the only difference between my assholism and their assholism is I still have compassion. Their assholism, they don't give a fuck about you. And I don't know what it is with human beings, especially black folks. You niggas love the motherfucker that don't give a fuck about you. The nigga that give a fuck about you, you can't stand his ass. The nigga that care about you, you can't stand. It's almost like you reject him caring because you don't believe that a nigga should care about another nigga. And you're more comfortable with the nigga that don't give a fuck about you because that seems more normal to you. And I really think it's a remnant of slavery. I really think it comes from black people fighting constantly for the approval of the slave master that couldn't stand them. I honestly feel like black people did that for so long that it just became part of black people's nature to constantly seek approval from people that don't like you. I genuinely believe that. See, the problem is I get up here too much giving a damn about black folk. That's just like when Myron came over here and he went in on black people. He went in on black people way harder than I've ever went in on black people. And niggas came over here and cursed me out. I'm going to say that again. Myron came over here and he went in on black people way harder than I would ever go in on black people. And I got cursed out. And you know what I thought when it happened? I said, shit, I wish I had as much contempt for you niggas as Myron did, because if I did, I'd be over 1 million subscribers by now. I'm going to say it again. You probably didn't catch it. I wish I had as much contempt for you niggas as Myron does, because if I did, my platform would be as big as Fresh and Fit. Because if I really started listing all of the black content creators who have huge platforms, it's niggas that can't stand niggas. It's niggas that can't stand y'all, that genuinely can't stand y'all. That genuinely can't stand y'all. Like, have a genuine contempt for you. See, here's the thing. I might talk shit about what you do. I may critique what you do. But I don't really have contempt for you. I don't really have contempt for you. I don't. I don't. If I'm like I was riding around today, if I'm riding around and I see a black person that's homeless and struggling, I might hand them $100 bill. If I see any black person, male, female, young, old, that's out in the street struggling, doing bad or whatever, there's a thing inside me that makes me feel empathy for that person. And I will reach in my pocket and pull out $100 bill and put it in their hand just because I'm capable of doing it. And it don't hurt me to do it. There's niggas that if you out there struggling and you put your hand out there, spit in it. But when I come online, you know who the niggas talk shit about? You know who the niggas go in on? You ain't shit, angry man. I be like, word. I be like, word. All right, I hear you. Shout out to the Daily Discourse with Arturo. He said, glad you were talking about this subject. I'm going to watch the replay soon as I am done with my show. Word, appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Bryson, said, when you're consistent, people always take it for granted. Like you'll always be there. People don't know what to expect from an asshole. Yep. Shout out to A, said, unfortunately, integrity ain't respected nowadays, AM. I respect the fact that you're trying to do right. Hope you stay the same, OG. Appreciate you, bro. It's a hard fight, but it is what it is. Let's see. And y'all bear with me. I'm giving the wrenches to the right people as I see them. Shout out to Terrell. He said the funny part about it is assholes aren't really assholes. They just have boundaries and stand 10 toes and embrace truth. You can't manipulate those types. Yep. Facts. Shout out to my man Will. He said black community. They hated you for not defending the black community, but yet they hate you in the black community. Yet they want you to defend the black. Yeah. It's a doom loop. It's a circle jerk of bullshit. It's a circle jerk of bullshit. You know, it's like when a black woman says that black men aren't real men, but then they'll turn around and disparage them because they didn't live up to the standard of a real man. It's like, how I'm going to live up to something that you think I'm not. That's like telling a plumber, you're not a real plumber. Nobody taught you how to be a plumber. And then ask you to fix the sink and get mad when you're not able to fix it. It's like setting you up for failure. It's the same shit with this whole black community thing. Like when Jess Pearly said what she said, I guess I was supposed to go hard in the paint for the black community. You know, the same community that tells me I'm not black. That's just like the Drake situation. There's like, Drake is suing. That ain't gangster. But you said he wasn't a gangster. So why are you trying to hold him to the standard of a gangster? See, whenever you start to notice that black people are doing that, it has nothing to do with justice. It has nothing to do with logic. They don't like you. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep you in a loop of bullshit. So when Myron came over here and said what he said, I'm supposed to go hard in the paint for the black community, right? That constantly tells me I'm not black or I'm not black enough. Like, how you gonna disown me and then try to hold me to the same standard as if you didn't disown me? It doesn't make sense. Like, either shit or get off the pot. Stop riding the fence. Either you think I'm black or you don't think I'm black. If you don't think I'm black, leave me the fuck alone. If you do think I'm black, shut the hell up when I'm critiquing black people. It's annoying. Shout out to Joshua. He says, salute, Angryman, first time contributor. Appreciate you. Shout out to Crocodile Tears. He said, another one log for the fire. Appreciate you. Shout out to Jerome. He said, cheers to the best content creator running alone. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to D-Rock Den. He said, let's get it, AMG. Shout out to NYC Dollar Van. He said, I have a monthly Dude Wipe subscription thanks to AM.
$50 boss up. Stack up and match up.
Dude Wipes are definitely necessary. Dude Wipes are the gift that keep on giving. Shout out to the trash man. He said, I had to pull into the rest stop and contribute. Anyone black who come up to me and ask for food while I'm buying food gets fed. The human in me. I know that's right. Shout out to you, brother. Real talk. Real talk. Shout out to Gifts, Grits, and Bacon. I said girls and bacon earlier, didn't I? That's crazy. Shout out to Grits and Bacon 79. Appreciate the membership. My apologies for messing up your name. Shout out to James. He said, thanks for the gems, AM. Got to clock into work. Hey, man, get that paper, bro. Shout out to Edgar. He said, appreciate the show. Shout out to Law. He said, just a little for the cook session. Shout out to Terrell. He said, Obama is a huge disappointment. The biggest disappointment. Shout out to Anthony. He said, keep up the good work. Shout out to Grinch. He said, I ain't giving these nig pigs nothing. That's crazy. I get it. I just haven't reached that level yet. I haven't reached that level. But I got a feeling it's gonna happen. I got a feeling I'm going to reach that David Carroll level of contempt. Like, I got a feeling I'm going to reach that level. I got a feeling it's coming. I got a feeling that sooner or later, I'm going to reach that level. Shout out to Tim Dog. He said, honestly, AM, you could be Martian Manhunter for all I know. What you are doesn't detract from your logic and facts that you spit. Yeah, that's that is the assessment of a intelligent person. And unfortunately for us, okay, as black people, and for everybody watching, that's what I am. That's what I've always been my entire life. I don't really know anything else. I've never been a white man. I've never been a Latin man. I've never been any of those things. I've only been black, right? And regardless of what race you are, what makes the world more tolerable than it used to be is intelligent people, regardless of race or whatever, right? Now, for us black folk, if you're intelligent, you are the minority of a minority. And some people are going to get mad about that, but I really don't give a shit. When I sit back and I look at the black race, there's a hell of a lot more ignorant people than intelligent people within our ranks. It just is what it is. Like, niggas can get mad about that, say whatever, but it is what it is, bro. And that's the only assessment that I can make from the way we operate and the way we move. Bro, 80% of the black community voted for Kamala Harris under the premise that she was a black woman. Now, let's start with the fact that you're not supposed to be voting for someone just because they're black. Right? So even if she was black, which she's not, you're not supposed to vote for someone solely for that reason. That is literally the definition. That's literally the definition of racism. So let's start there. Second thing is, you had to be blind and just not paying no attention to nothing that she did. That woman couldn't string together a coherent sentence. And you think that she's supposed to be the leader of the free world? There's no way. There's no way you could believe that. There's absolutely no way that you looked at her doing an interview and said, yep, I'm voting for her. Like, you gotta be crazy. You got to be crazy. There's just far less intelligent folk among us. Far less. Oh, bro, Hollow Man. Let me tell you something, fam. That right there was the only thing that should have been the only thing they needed to hear. That should have been the only thing they needed to hear. I tell you what, They wouldn't have let Drake get away with that. If Drake would have said something that stupid, they would have been like, oh, hell no. Hell to the no. That Negro got a nope. Hell no. Will said Obama's words, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president, and you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. Like, man, somebody should have cursed his ass, smoothed the hell out. This is the reason why I like the young boy Ant-Man. He told, Ant-Man told Obama that he need to fall back. Like, Ant-Man wasn't going for none of that Obama shit. Like, none of that, I'm a talk down to you shit. Man, Ant-Man was like, man, I'm the truth. Y'all better fall back. You feel me? And Obama sitting there looking goofy in the face. See, Obama is one of them characters that started believing his own damn hype. He started believing his own hype. But see, I'm going to tell you when Obama lost, like, any respect that he could have ever gained from me, right? He spent his entire presidency advocating for other groups. When he was running for president, this was the blackest Negro on planet Earth. We talking about collard greens and fried chicken in the White House. We talking about playing basketball. We talking about inviting Stevie Wonder and other folks to the White House. We talking about him name dropping Jay-Z and all types of shit. This was the blackest Negro on planet Earth. But most people don't even realize this. You had a large percentage of police brutality cases on Barack Obama's watch. During Barack Obama's tenure as president, he had some of the most cases of police whooping black men's asses than any other president. Nobody talks about that. And if you think I'm lying, go look up the stats if you think I'm lying. There were more police brutality cases under Barack Obama than any other president in modern history. And he may have spoken on it once. He may have spoken on it once. And when he did speak on it, he didn't say nothing about racism. In fact, for that Negro's entire 2 terms as president, he never brought up racism. The moment that it looked like Joe Biden wasn't going to be able to beat Trump to get a second term, this Negro Barack Obama came out, and every word that came out of his mouth was about racism. All of a sudden, this is a racist country. And I'm just looking at him like, so it wasn't racist while you were president? And if it was racist while you were president, why didn't you do something about it? I tell you why, because you full of shit. You full of shit. You didn't do anything about it because you don't believe the country is racist. That's just convenient for you to say because you didn't want Trump winning. And the funny thing about it is you niggas fell for it because it's like Barack Obama jumps up there to tell you that Trump is racist so Biden could win. You do know Biden is white too, right? So what I'm trying to figure out is how are you using racism against Donald Trump as if he was running against somebody that was black? And the reason why I say it like this is because black folks assume that all white people are racist. You feel what I'm saying? That's part of the culture that they're not gonna tell you. That's why it didn't make any sense to me that they were accusing Trump of being racist, but they were supporting Joe Biden. That's off code in the black community. What makes your white guy better than our white guy? Why is our white guy racist but yours isn't? If we went down the checklist about the things that make you a racist, Joe Biden fit way more of them boxes than Trump ever will. But for some reason, Joe Biden ain't racist. When he sat right there on TV and said, if you gotta wonder whether you voting for me or Trump, then you ain't black. Like, what? Even to this day, you gotta ask yourself what type of dude Joe Biden is that he felt comfortable enough to say that shit. To this day, you gotta ask yourself, what made him comfortable enough to say that bullshit? Shout out to Found Link said, if you notice every major police brutality incident happened in a blue city, but yet they always put racism on Republicans. Facts. But anyway, I'm about to get up out of here, man. Y'all gonna have me ranting all night. Y'all know when it comes to the foolishness of the Democrats and black folk, like, bro, I told them I had to jump in the comment section of a video. There was a woman that was advocating for the Democrat Party. I don't even remember what video it was. Let me see if I can find the video real quick. There was a woman advocating for the Democrat Party. And you know what I said in the comment section? I was like, yo, y'all Democrat slaves y'all just don't know when to have a seat. Because every time I see a Negro in this day and age either hating on Trump or, you know, trying their best to promote some Democrat, I just be like, yo, there go another Democrat slave. But y'all already know, bro. I could talk about this foolishness all night, man. But I'm about to get up out of here, man. And go get some sleep. See, y'all wouldn't have got this show around this time if I would have laid down on that couch and took a nap. I was getting ready to start this show, and I walked past the couch, And that mother was calling me, bruh. I was like, bruh, look, there's the way my sectional is, right? There's one part of the couch that everybody likes to lay on and take a nap. And my wife hasn't figured out why yet. She I don't think she put it together yet. That part of the couch is right under an AC vent. So like if you lay on that part of the sectional, the AC vent is right above you. And bruh, let me tell you something. When you lay on that spot right there, fam, you ain't gonna be laying there too long. You ain't gonna be laying there too long before your ass be out. You gonna be out like a light, bruh. You gonna be out. And look, I was, bruh, that freaking shit, that, bruh. I was like, let me set up this show because I got to do the show. I wanted to do it at 5, but I was in here trying to get the thumbnail right, and I was like, damn, bruh, that couch is calling me. If I would have laid down on that couch, I wouldn't have, bruh. Y'all would probably be, I'd be starting the show right now. But I said, nope, I'm not going to take a nap. I'm going to stay up. That way I can get the show out to y'all or whatever. But I'm definitely about to crash. Like, for real. Because I've been up since 4 in the morning. And I took like a little brief nap. But yeah. Shout out to everybody that came through, man. We gonna see what's up with this Barack Obama situation. My prediction, like I told you guys, my prediction is nothing is gonna come of it. He's not gonna get prosecuted. Shout out to Mr. C. He said the shirt is fire. Appreciate you. Yo, anybody that wants to get one of these shirts. Anybody that wants to get one of these shirts, you feel me? It is available over on shopBinoNation.com. This is the shirt right here that I'm wearing. You feel me? Got your boy Hakeem Jeffries screaming. Screaming to high heavens because they're losing. And of course on the back, it got "Don't Be No Donkey" on that mug. You feel me? So yeah, man, when you get a chance, go check out the shirts. You feel me? We got it in blue and we got it in red. So check it out when you get a chance. But also, make sure you guys go over and check out my book, The Angryman Standard, which is available on Amazon. All you have to do is type The Angryman Standard in the search bar on Amazon and it will come up. But other than that, man, salute to everybody that hung out with me. I'm about to go get some rest. Make sure you guys check me out tomorrow because I will be back at you tomorrow. Maybe we'll get some more updates on what's happening with this situation. But like I said, I don't think he's going to get prosecuted. They, because politicians, they don't like public backlash. And if they were to even try to charge Barack Obama with something, these Negroes out here going to lose their minds. They're going to lose their minds. So Barack Obama is not going to get prosecuted, and he damn sure ain't going to get convicted and arrested. One thing I know for certain, we will never see a president of the United States get prosecuted and convicted. We ain't gonna see that in our lifetime. So if you thinking that you gonna get to see some shit like that, bro, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. A president getting prosecuted, like really prosecuted, not that little goofy farce that they did with Donald Trump, but a president actually getting prosecuted with an actual crime is like them releasing that Epstein list. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. But with that being said, man, salute to everybody that came through. Shout out to all the sponsors of the show. I definitely appreciate you guys for sponsoring the show. Real talk. Shout out to Steve H, Hemi B, Lawrence, Floyd. Appreciate y'all for sponsoring the show, man. And shout out to everybody else that contributed to the show. The faithful few, I definitely appreciate y'all. Shout out to the whole BINO Nation for coming through and engaging in the chat room. Hold on, my man Burnell said check the Cash App. Hold on 1 second. Shout out to my man Burnell, also a sponsor of the show. Appreciate you, broski.
Here we go again. $100 boss up. Going down. Stack up and match up.
Y'all see I'm moving slow. I don't know why. Matter of fact, you know what? And y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Shout out to Beastly Gamer, said they actually tried to get Trump 100%. What do you think he has to lose by returning the favor? They tried to take him out and jail him. Oh, I'm not saying they're not gonna try. I'm just saying it ain't gonna succeed. You feel me? You know what I think it is? I was riding around the city today with the top down. Y'all think it was that heat? What do y'all think in the chat? Y'all think the heat drained me and that's why I'm so damn sleepy right now? I think it was that damn heat. I think it was riding around the damn city with the top down in the hot ass sun. Like, does that happen to y'all too? Like, if y'all go out in the heat, shit make you tired, make you want to go to sleep? Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think I went outside and let that heat kick my ass, you feel me? But like I said, man, appreciate y'all. We gonna get up out of here. And I'm gonna holler at y'all. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me make sure before I go. Sometimes. Okay, cool. Like I said, man, shout out to everybody. Appreciate y'all. I'll be back at y'all tomorrow. Be on the lookout for me. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Deuces.
Spartans! What is your profession?